what I find fascinating, and I'm always curious about everyone I meet, is that we're all stories, and we're all unfolding into our own stories and co-creating our stories as we go along. So I would like to ask you, what's the message of your story, of your life, and what you do?
Well, let me think about that now. The message is that life is long, that there are always opportunities for growth, to give back, to develop oneself. The message is also that we don't get to where we are by ourselves. President Clinton will often say that. Whoever is on the top of their game, whoever is leading many of people who lead wonderful lifestyles get to the top of a corporation or in government or not-for-profit. We get there because of others.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important for everybody to hear and to know and to feel, and also to look back and say to those who have helped one get to wherever one is,
yes,
thank you.
And Jill, as you're talking, and I know that I'm interjecting something that's personal to me onto you, but I look at, the list of things that you've done. I mean, you were in education, and you've been politically active, you've been leading a foundation. And I think about myself, and I started out in education, was a professor of psychology, then I became a writer. And I think it's so important for us women to give ourselves permission to really expand our identity beyond what we think we are, and to allow ourselves to continually recreate ourselves. Because this is what you're doing, and this is what I'm doing. And why not always be open to the sense of possibility that we can start afresh and do something new and learn new things as we go along. And that's what I admire about you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And I admire that about you too.
Thank you.
I'm learning to cook for the first time in my life. And somebody said to me, why? Why now,
Why?
Jill?
No, okay. I have some good recipes for you.
There you go. I was terrified of cooking all of these years.
I'm
learning
to uncook.
Angela, I also want to say that you and I have, knock on wood, we've been able to live these really now beautiful lives. We've
Yes.
had all kinds of opportunity
opportunities.
and privilege. And I think it's important for us to realize that it's not like that for many, many women. They don't have the same options. And to think about that, and when we're talking about what we are able to do, to reflect on the lack of
support some other women.
That's
don't
exactly
have.
Right. I remember when I was living outside of New York City and would come in for work and everything, and I would drive up Madison Avenue on a cold winter night and go over what was the 135th Street Bridge. And right by the bridge, I would see mothers with their children walking across the street, going to their homes. And they would have these kids, they would hold on tight to these children. And they were tired. The kids are tired. The mothers are tired. And I knew these mothers are going home to the housing,
Yes.
Low-income housing projects. They're bathing these children. They're feeding their children. They're putting them to bed. They're doing it alone for the
That's
most
right.
part. And they're getting up the next day, and life is hard.
Yeah.
You can go to India or Africa, you see the women in the fields. They're wearing the most beautiful colors. Their babies are next to them. They're carrying the baskets of produce or water home at night.
Right.
You go into town, around the corner during the day, and the men are hanging out, playing games and smoking cigarettes. Those women have it hard. They are coming back home. They're, again, making dinner. They're cleaning up their children. They're getting started the next day. To get started for the next day. So for me, one of our responsibilities is to reach out to women across sectors, across borders, and help them have a little easier time.
And it goes back to your own message of saying that there's dignity and respect
Yes.
in every human being.
Yes.
And I always say it first starts from ourselves, that we need to respect ourselves, our own needs, and that naturally will really encourage you and motivate you to reach out to other people and connect at a level that's very human. And it's not helping where I feel that I'm above someone else, or it's an equality, seeing somebody eye to eye and heart to heart, and that feels like help. It's not charity. It's about working together.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's not charity, and what you're saying is so important, because the minute you see something as I'm taken care of, I'm above you, it's a sense of noblesse oblige, you feel Lady Bountiful. That's not what this is all about.
Right.
It's not about that. It's about helping provide opportunity for people to grow and develop like we have had that opportunity.
Thank you so much for joining me
Angela,
today,
thank you
Jill.
for the opportunity.
Oh, it's
Really.
just so fascinating to talk with you. And as I say, we all have a story. I hope our story reflects our resiliency, our creativity, and I hope we're generous with the roles that we give ourselves, and patient with ourselves to learn what we need to learn.
And I'm learning from Angela at every moment I'm with her.
Thank you for joining us.